For all my subscribers, can you tell them how long you've been a PO?
I've been a probation officer for about 3.5 years.
And in your department, you do
Um,
probation and parole, right?
that's correct.
Somebody at my door. Hold up. Hold on.
Child. Well, we're gonna have to edit that.
I want to talk a little bit about training because a lot of people who watch my channel, they want to know, firstly, the application process and how long it takes to actually get hired after you apply, and then they want to know about the training. So
All right.
let's get into
All
that.
right. The application process, you will have to complete the application online, or you can mail it in. But I believe it's preferred online. Um, and you'll provide an email. They'll get back with you to schedule a test date. You will go to a specific location that they assign to you to take that test. The test isn't really long. It may take an hour to an hour and a half. Once you complete that test, if you're not certified, they will schedule you to a physical ability test, and that consists of 1.5 mile in 15 minutes and 28 seconds, 25 push-ups, 20, I believe it's 22 push-ups, I'm sorry, 25 sit-ups, and an obstacle course. And the obstacle course consists of pushing a car 16 feet, sprinting, I'm not sure the distance, sprinting, jumping a 6-foot fence, jumping through a window, walking on
Wait.
walking
You
on
have to push a car?
yeah, push a car. That's in neutral, of course. But walk on a balance beam for 15 feet and drag a 165-pound dummy 15 feet.
Okay, I would never ever be able to pass a test. What? Like, that's a lot.
And the reason the state does that is because we do have to go to a police academy. And if you're in any form of law enforcement in this state, then you have to do that test once you go to the police academy. That's how you stay in the police academy, or they dismiss you. So that's pretty much a job requirement.
So you guys go through the exact same academy that police officers do?
That's correct. And it's because we fall under the line of public service.
How many chances do you get to pass this academy? Is it like if you mess up something, you out, or what?
Once you get to the academy, they'll test everyone the same day. If there's an applicant that fails, then they can retest the next day. But they can't only retest the part they failed on. They have to do everything over again.
Wait, that don't seem fair. So you're not just talking about like a written test. You're talking about all those physical tests as well?
Correct.
Okay, so after you pass all your tests and everything like that, you get the job interview. What do you have to do then? Do you have to take a psychological evaluation? Do you have to do a lie detector test?
Well, no, not with this agency. I have taken a polygraph before with an agency I was with prior to me being a probation officer, but not with this agency. They do, I guess, like not a polygraph, a psych eval, which they schedule for you. And it's really, if you can count to, I don't know, see how far you can count from 100 in increments of 7. There's certain things. So it's nothing major with the psych eval.
Okay, so that's not something that somebody should be worried about. You don't have to like study for it or whatever to be prepared to
No,
take your psych eval.
nah, unless you're like, attracted to fires or something weird like that, then you should be fine.
Okay, so how many cases would you supervise once you get hired?
Normally, I know I came in maybe supervising them 150. It can change. It can and will change. I talk to my offenders like real ratchet, like
yeah, talk to me.
Because they only understand like, you see what I'm saying? They only understand like certain language. So what I give them.
So do you supervise mostly Black people?
Nah, it's a mixture.
Okay, so what is the majority of your caseload, like the offense type? Because on my caseload specifically, I have mostly DWI and possession of a controlled substance. I would say that's like 75% of the caseload. And then the other 25% is like assault and burglary of habitation. So what is your caseload mostly?
Mostly is probably, I would say, possession of a controlled substance. And then there's, I supervise a lot of sex offenders, and offenders that's on probation or parole for robbery.
So in your department, you guys don't separate sex offenders from everybody else? Like, for instance, in my department, there's a specific caseload that caters only to sex offenders.
No, no, it just depends on what judge you work for in the circuit court.
So do you feel like you have to supervise the sex offenders differently from the other probationers?
Yes, we do, actually. It's not how we feel about them, it's what we must do. With sex offenders, they will report twice a month. They will also have a home visit twice a month. So we keep a pretty close eye on those. And now something new, we have GPS monitoring for certain sex offenders.
I want to know how often you're in the office versus how often you're in the field.
Normally my schedule is set for the week. I'm probably only in my office 2 days out of the week. And that's strictly for my appointments. Unless, someone walks in and they just need to talk to me, I make myself available. I come back to the office and, deal with them.
If you're only in the office 2 days, what are you doing for the rest of the time?
I'm going to jobs. And I don't like to actually show up at people, employment, but I will go to jobs, houses, different whereabouts, hangout spots. Sometimes just ride by the house and see what's moving, if anyone is moving. See if a car is still there or if a car isn't there, if it's a new car. I may take the tag number and come back to the office, do some research, run the tag, just to see if that offender is still living there or not.
And if they're not living there, then what is the protocol?
If they're not living there, we will try to make contact with that offender. If that doesn't work, we will file a violation report. They will have a warrant for their arrest by any agency. People that's on my caseload, I go look for them, no matter if they have the warrant or not. I'm notified once they are in custody. I have
that's like way different from how it is with my department. If somebody absconds, they have a warrant, and then we're like pretty much done with it. We'll push their case to the absconder unit, which is some officers that work with the sheriff's department. So they handle that completely. Like, we're totally done. So that's so crazy how it's so different in where I work at versus where you work at. I'm not about to go look for nobody. Like, no.
If I do see them and I want to arrest them for that violation and the warrant hasn't come out yet, I can still place them under arrest. So,
have you ever had somebody try to fight you, try to get away?
Definitely. I don't know how many times. Even though I know their name, I know where they live, I know where their mom lives, they will try it here and there.
So what is like your favorite thing about the job? Like favorite
Um,
aspects, I guess.
Seeing people actually become productive citizens and change. That's the best part of it. Like,
That
it
is
just,
the best part.
yeah.
Yeah.
If they're willing to work on bettering themselves, like, yeah, that's a pat on the back.
I want to talk a little bit about the continuing education. So once you become a PO, great. You got 140 some odd people that you're supervising. Do you have to do training throughout your time as a PO? And if so, like what kind of training do you guys have to do?
Oh, we have several different classes, and most of them are pretty much on how you talk to people.
It's a lot of people who are aspiring to be POs, right? So they kind of want to know like what direction to take, how to even get started, like what classes to take in college. For instance, what is your degree? And my degree is in psychology. So what do you have a degree in? Do you have a degree?
I have a degree in criminal justice with a minor in psychology. So it all works hand in hand, but you don't have to have a criminal justice degree to get hired with this agency. It can be in accounting, and actually, accounting would be more beneficial if you want to further your career in criminal justice. If the FBI is what you're looking for as an ultimate goal, like accounting would definitely help.
Some questions that I've gotten recently, like in my Instagram DMs and like my email, is if you have a record, a criminal record, would your agency consider hiring somebody that's a felon or has the felony on their record? Maybe the felony was dismissed or the case was like expunged or something, but they were arrested for a felony offense. Will your department consider hiring them?
I would have to say definitely not. I'm saying that. I'm saying probably not because different agencies have different guidelines. But I can't tell you that I've met, another officer in this state that's ever been arrested or been through any criminal charges. And I know a lot of people in this state, and I can't say I know one. And if there was an officer that seeked criminal charges, they were terminated as that officer. So that's why I say probably not.
What is the best piece of advice you can give to a new PO
in your area? Two things, and it's helped me from day one. And my family is in law enforcement. A lot of them, from father to uncles to cousins. Two things. Know the definition of probable cause, and when you're dealing with someone on the street, watch people's hands. Hands kill people. With that being drilled in me, I think that's probably why I made it home. Trainings, firearms, we do that every 3 months. We also do Vanguard. That's pretty much grappling. We do that once a year. So we do refresh on, how to handcuff, how, if you have a weapon, pulled on you, how to react, how to disarm that offender or whoever. And we do wear vests. We do carry spray, and firearms, Glock, that is. So if there's someone that needs help or that needs to be in jail, I have means to doing that.
Well, that's it, Jonathan. Thank you so much for answering all my questions. And y'all, don't forget to leave a comment down below. Bye.